So here's Jen with her 5-course banquet.
Going to tasting, I'm pretty confident in what I've put out. Good evening, chefs. But at the same time, I'm really afraid that I did not meet the criteria of implementing enough Asian flavors.
Jen, tell us about your banquet.
All these cooking techniques are very French and very Middle Eastern. But there are components or like ingredients in there that is Asian. For the duck confit with seared duck breast and also candied orange. But for the orange, I've infused a lot of cinnamon and star anise and ginger. So those are very Asian flavors. And for the vegetable dish, it's a roasted eggplant with a Sichuan peppercorn yogurt sauce. So it has like that mala kind of feel to the yogurt and some orange zest and some mint powder. It's a very like simple and light salad. Yeah. And for the starch, you have a very curvy quinoa salad. It's very Moroccan style. So this one, I would say that it's more leaning towards Indian spices because there's a lot of cumin, paprika, coriander seeds, and fennel seeds inside there. And this is family, but the Asian like essence in it is the lemongrass and the chili, ginger, garlic, and I've added some fennel because it's very aniseedy, it's very nice with seafood.
The flavors of those Asian elements, aromats that you used across all the dishes, is it subtle?
I think I'm trying to not make it overpower the original dish, right? But it's more like a complementary kind of taste, like an undertone. My main inspiration is just me on a plate because these are things that I love to eat.
What about your dessert?
Yes. So of course the dessert is not here because there's an ice cream component. So I'll just explain to you. It's a red wine fig mochi, and there's a very fluffy sponge cake at the bottom with the mascarpone ice cream on top with fresh fig and also some rosemary honey walnuts. This was inspired by wine and cheese, and these are the things my parents and I love to eat. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
I'll leave you to a wonderful meal. Thank you. A MasterChef is someone who do whatever it takes to get to the top. I deserve to win because of my tenacity, to really want to impress and do well and succeed.
Gentlemen,
Yes.
you know what? It's a very generous feast that lays before us.
I mean, it is, on top of being a physical feast, also a feast for the eyes, isn't it?
Exactly.
The things just pop. There's vibrant colors. There's color contrast. I love that.
Yeah. Shall we?
Yep.
All right. Let's try the eggplant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't forget some of that. Thank you. This is my kind of dish.
I mean, there are at least like 15 ingredients in there.
Right.
Everything seems kind of heavy. I think this is like to lighten everything.
This meal
Yeah,
looks like a perfect reason for something like that.
like this. Yeah.
Oh, I can smell it. Smoky bacon.
Wow.
You know what? I'm gonna
Okay.
hold on that, and I'm gonna start with this. What's really missing for me with the eggplant are the spices. That Sichuan peppercorn actually doesn't really kick in. But you know what? I mean, it's tender, it's still juicy.
No, I think you have to eat it with a lot of yogurt. That's the only way to kind of taste the flavor.
I'm gonna ask you guys one question. After you've eaten that, you've let it settle, what's the overwhelming flavor on your tongue?
Bitter orange.
Orange.
In a waiting room, I'm pacing up and down, thinking through about what I did wrong, what I did right. And, I do believe that I do have the chance, but in the end, it's not up to us. It's up to the judges. It's anybody's game, really. So it's just like a long, anxious wait.
That quinoa carb dish, quite brilliant, isn't it?
Big punch of flavors. We told Jen, focus on flavors. This delivers.
Pack loads of flavor. Delicious. The spices are very subtle. It's fresh. It's so fresh.
Okay, let's try these clams.
I mean, it looks good.
You know what's strange? I'm not getting the lemongrass.
Yet we see it, huh?
But that's bizarre, right?
We can see the lemongrass, but it hasn't been cooked properly to infuse the lemongrass flavors through it.
Imagine on a rainy night, big steaming
hot.
pot of clams with all these aromatics and bacon.
Couldn't ask for anything more.
Oh, like the use of bacon. Adds a smokiness that you don't otherwise associate with a wet dish like that.
When I joined MasterChef, you know, I was still very naive. My ideas are very scattered all over the place. And as the competition progressed, I learned to be focused and put all those ideas into an orchestra that is very well composed.
So this is supposed to be a duck confit. Smells good. That's a really good roasted duck leg. I don't know if I'll call it a confit.
Yeah.
The breast is perfectly cooked. You can see that blush of pink there. The orange by itself is very bitter. But when you put that with the duck breast together, it becomes fragrant, it becomes floral.
Brilliant. Brilliant. If I put this and this together, it's kind of like a match made in heaven.
This is, for me, the best part of the entire meal. All right, next up, dessert. You know what I love about Jen's meal? She met the brief of a banquet. Don't you think? What a joyous meal she's put in front of us. Wow, 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 wow.
Wow.
God, visually, doesn't it look spectacular?
It looks like it could be a picture and put it up on the wall.
Yes.
A little bit unevenly cut on this one. I got one very small one here and one large one. I don't know if it's the same one on your side.
Yeah, same.
Pretty as a picture. Now for the taste test. Actually comes together really well. It tastes quite beautiful together.
It's mochi. It's exactly like nian gao.
Yes! I'm kind of glad that fig and red wine didn't come through so strongly because that's the oriental element.
You know, when you eat dessert, you think sweet, right? But the salt really works. It really, really works.
Jen's meal. Right. Typical Jen fashion. I loved seeing her personality again in the food.
Right.
She gave us generosity. She gave us a visual feast. She gave us a very interesting meal. One that I will definitely remember.
I'm just feeling a sigh of relief, like it's finally over. You know, there's no more scrambling, there's no more craziness. You know, you can finally relax. I'm really twisting everything, twisting my fingers, twisting my toes, just hoping that they will see the MasterChef in me